popped up, left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Game 2 of the World Series against the Blue Jays, has thrown a complete game, retiring the final 20 that he faces. 9 strikeouts, no walks. Simply dazzling.
I told you this is going to be my favorite game that we do in this series, just based on the 2 pitchers and really based on that guy. Man, did he get it done.
And he got these Dodgers into a tied series, 1-1 after the Blue Jays leveled the Dodgers in the first game with 11 runs. Offense looking like an unstoppable force. Their match tonight in Yamamoto. Moves to 3-1 in the postseason. The first guy to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason, one of them in the World Series since Tom Glavine in 1992. The first Dodger to do it since Orel Hershiser and his MVP 1988. We've seen the pitcher, we've talked about the pitcher, but the guy, the teammates love, one of the favorites down there, acclimated himself so quickly, coming over new country, new language, new schedule, new city, new food, all this stuff that he had to get used to. Was good as a rookie, really took off in the postseason, elite here in his second year. Masterful, historically good when it matters most. Down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks. With Yoshinobu Yamamoto, your interpreter, Yoshihiro Sonata. A beautiful game you pitched tonight. 104 pitches, no walks, a complete game in the World Series. What are you most proud of tonight?
104球、フォアボール出し、一番今日何を誇りに思いますか？
1イニングずつしっかり、投げていけたのと、初回ちょっと、ランナー出したりで、球数いったんですけど、しっかり切り替えて、いけたんで、いい結果につながりました。
You know, because I racked up my pitch count early on, but I think I took it like a 1 inning by 1 inning, and then I think I was executing my pitches very well today.
Well, let's talk about how the game started. Lots of pitches in the first inning, runners on first and third, and then you went on to retire the last 20 batters of the game. What changed?
今日おっしゃったように海外初回の方で前半の方で球数が多くなったんですけども、その後20人すべてきちっとアウト取れた。それはどういう要因だったでしょうか？
やっぱりこうなんていうんだろう、リラックスして初回入るっていうのは心がけてたんですけど、やっぱワールドシリーズなだけあってちょっと力みがあったんで、しっかり冷静に調整して、そこからテンポを上げていけることができました。
I was trying to be going into the game relaxing, but that, you know, it's a World Series, so I kind of get early on because I was like kind of throwing with unnecessary tension. So I just adjusted that, and then as the game went on.
You gave us a game for the ages. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
It was something. Yamamoto with those 6 different pitches, a feel for all of them. Those guys are happy to be sitting over there tonight, not having to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The offense comes to life to support him with 2 home runs against Kevin Gausman to break a tie in the 7th inning. Speaking of ties, this World Series locked in 1 as it shifts to Los Angeles and Dodger Stadium on Monday night. After the break, the Strauss postgame show. You saw the guys, they're waiting for you on the other side.
Against the Brewers in the LCS.
Now, when you talk about just a guy like this, consecutive complete games, you're bringing up one of the great big game pitchers ever, Curt Schilling, who had 3 complete games back in 2001. I want to follow the point, see what the Al was making, because coming in, all you know about Yamamoto is one thing, that's split finger. But I think that curveball was critical tonight, keeping these guys off balance.
I completely agree. Watching that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at bat, he was on the heater early, and Yamamoto, you can tell he wanted to stay away from that heater. He got behind in the count. Yamamoto did. Yeah. Ends up going to the split finger a couple times. Vladimir makes the adjustment on the split finger, and then Yamamoto snaps him off with the curveball. He's able to adjust, him and Will Smith collectively, ability to adjust on the fly, recognize what the Blue Jays hitters are trying to do in the moment, and make the adjustment on the fly was extremely impressive tonight.
in a 1-1 game.
Right.
Yamamoto and the Dodgers, the mighty Dodgers coming in, they're down 1-0. This is what you just said, CY. Every single pitch. We know it's a World Series, and we know that every pitch matters. We saw it with Will Smith in a 1-1 game in the 7th inning, big fly, and it felt like, and then here comes another home run from Muncy. The ability to understand that it's execution of every single pitch. I know it's something out of some mental book. It's true. And the guys that don't, that stay in there, don't throw away pitches. You could say it as a batter. How many at bats you just threw away at bats? And the both of these lineups, we knew what the Blue Jays were all about. Fight, keep the ball in play, and maybe something good will happen. The Dodgers showed it tonight.
Talking to Dave Roberts before the game, we're sitting around BP. He said the best thing that could happen tonight is I don't have to make a decision. There was no decision to be made for Dave Roberts tonight. When you watch Yamamoto, especially after he got past the 3rd inning, the way he was be able to go out there and be efficient. I'm looking right here, 82 pitches over his final 8 innings. You're talking about 10 pitches an inning. Talk about efficiency. You're not getting no ducks on the pond. You're executing your pitches, 1, 2, 3, multiple innings. Dave Roberts had the opportunity to sit back today after all the stress he had to go through yesterday. Got the chance to sit back today and just watch Yamamoto do his thing.
Yeah, borderline immaculate innings. That'll work as far as you're looking for a World Series start. Let's hear from Blue Jays manager John Schneider as Toronto suffers their first loss of this World Series. They fall to the Dodgers in Game 2. Here's Schneider at the podium addressing the media.
John, you guys did such a good job yesterday of making Snell work. Was that ingredient kind of missing for you guys today, or was Yamamoto just that good?
Yeah, he was that good. I kind of started that way. Got his 4 pitches in the first, I think, and that was probably our best chance. First and third, and nobody out. After that, it was kind of few and far between. Second complete game in a row in the postseason. That's pretty impressive with a layoff in between. So, I think he made it hard for us to make him work. He was in the zone. Split was in and out of the zone. It was a really good performance by him.
Kind of shy in the back, John.
John, with that delivery and the way his body's going into different directions at the same time, what are you telling your hitters in terms of kind of where to look, how to try to identify where it's coming from, and then I try to identify a pitch to attack?
Yeah, it's funky delivery for sure. We like everyone, you do a lot of work to get ready for it, and different wind up than out of the stretch for sure. They were ready. I think that you just give him credit. He tunneled everything really well, held his velo, spotted his heater really well. I don't think it was for a lack of prep or, it's deception. There's definitely some deception in the delivery too, but he was on his game.
Good, Jeff, the second row.
This could very well be a back-and-forth series, so good chance you may see Yamamoto again in Game 6. What do the players learn from today? And even with the 17 kind of swing and misses, there's got to be something they can take out of today.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen him this year, so you get some feedback and hopefully make some adjustments. But really, I think right now you're worried about Glass now, Game 3, but I think we do a really good job of making adjustments as we see guys. Again, man, that was a great performance by him.
Got Mike in the third row.
For a lot of it, it was a great performance by Kevin Gausman as well. What did you see out of him?
Oh, man, Kev was really good. Thought he located the fastball down really well, which made the split kind of open up. And, I think it was 17 straight at one point. Kev was good, man. Just really good at bat from Freddie in the first, 2 strikes, hit double, RBI single, and then he was locked in. Got some early outs, got some swing and miss. Just looking back at the home run to Smith, he's trying to go down and away, and it leaked back up and in. And then same thing to Max. But I thought Kev matched him pitch for pitch, really. They both had low pitch counts. It was kind of a classic pitcher's duel, and they made a couple more swings.
I think I had 21 in a row at one point overall.
Yeah.
But when that's happening, when it's just quick 3 ups, 3 downs all the way through, what's the feeling there in the dugout?
You feel good, You're kind of just, again, man, you have plans, and you're kind of watching things unfold in real time and watching Kev make some adjustments too. So, once we got back and tied the game with Kirky's sac fly, you feel good about Kev. He's one of our best pitchers, and I thought he did a really good job navigating. So, it was anyone's game for the taking, And they just made a couple big swings there off Kev.
A couple last ones. Steve, on your left in the fourth row.
You probably almost answered this already, but were you in a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't when your guy's going that well, and then you get in third time through the order, and it's like juggling philosophy versus what you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're kind of, you know, we try to really take that into consideration, you know what I mean? Got Shohei, you know, again, top of the order is really dangerous, and their whole lineup is dangerous, you know what I mean? And they've been in this situation before, so I think at that point it's just game state, you know what I mean? Seventh inning, and, you know, that's really about all you can ask for, if not a little bit more, from a starter against this team. So have confidence in the bullpen. So it was just kind of, you know, I trusted Kev to get out of that, you know, even though it is third time. You kind of watch what he's doing, yeah.
I'll finish up with Ron.
Welcome to MLB Tonight, presented by Strauss. The Los Angeles Dodgers lose Game 1 against the Toronto Blue Jays, but they came back, led by the right arm of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was absolutely masterful. That has been a familiar recipe for this Los Angeles Dodgers team, is just how good their starting pitching has been, and it more than lived up to the hype in this game, as Yamamoto was sterling a season ago against the Yankees, 6 1/3, 1 run, 1 hit in the World Series, and this time in the Fall Classic against the Blue Jays, he gets the better of them once again, as he does indeed go the distance. That's right, quoting Field of Dreams, go the distance. Ease his pain is what they're saying about me. We'll get to that in a second. Alongside the three-time World Series champion Al Leiter, the All-Star Chris Young, I'm Adnan Burke, and it's great to have you with us. Al Leiter was a great big game pitcher. He knows what it's like pitching in the World Series. Al, you can see a game like this and say, this is like Picasso, just dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Yamamoto was wonderful to watch.
It was. Not only Yamamoto,
Gausman as well.
I mean, look, this game was nip and tuck right until the 7th inning. And both of these starting pitchers, after they settled in, after a high pitch count in the first inning, man, it was Picasso in many instances. We'll talk about how certain scenarios during this game, they went away from maybe their scatter report with respect to, we talked a lot about their split finger. Yamamoto was exceptional. Man, it was just fun to watch. It really was.
As I watched this game, I think of I was standing on the field for batting practice, talking to the Dodgers, talking to Mookie, talking to Freddie. There was still no panic in them. You know, under the surface a little bit, you understand the severity of this game, and they couldn't get outside of themselves. Early in the game, it looked like they were pressing a little bit to be able to slow the game down late, come back strong. We got a dogfight. We got a dogfight. Now going back to LA 1-1, I think both teams should feel good about where they stand right now. The Blue Jays were able to walk away with the win, going back to LA. LA came back and fought back. This is going 7 games right here, y'all.
Max Muncy, you don't have to wait. Get on up here. Max Muncy's going to join us right now here on set. So he's going to have a little chat with us here as one of the stars here, the LA Dodgers. He's waiting patiently, so you don't have to wait, Max. You come on up here, and we'll get you set up.
Oh, he already showered, cleaned up, everything. That's right. What's up?
As he just said, we have a plane to catch. We're not going to keep Max Muncy waiting. Certainly, this was a fantastic performance for the LA Dodgers start to finish, and Muncy was a part of that. You know, coming into this game, the numbers have been fantastic against Kevin Gausman, and certainly Max was able to provide that once again. And both these pitchers were going great head-to-head. You certainly see that it was a pitcher's duel. But ultimately, it was Gausman that blinks first, and ultimately it's the Dodgers that win this game too. So, Max, that's my question to you. Coming in, you'd had such great numbers against Kevin Gausman, and once again tonight you were able to prove that was the case. How has that been the key for you?
I think you just have a little familiarity with the guy, and you know, he's a different pitcher now than when I'd faced him last, when he was with the Giants and those guys before, but you still have somewhat of an idea of what the pitches are going to look like. At the end of the day, he's a great pitcher, and when he executes, it makes it really not a fun time in the batter's box. And, you know, the first couple times through, he was executing those pitches, and, you know, the third one, I just felt like I got a mistake when I didn't miss it. You know, when you get those mistakes and you miss it, then you get really pissed off. But, yeah.
I want to dig a little deeper into that. When you've had a lot of success against a guy, 3 times he's been in the book, watching the first couple of at-bats, seemed like you were a little in between. Even tried to put a bunt down, which was a smart move right there in the play. When you've had so much success against a guy, can you find yourself overthinking about how you've had success and trying to work backwards with the guy?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. You get in the box and you've seen a guy, and you know what pitches you've done damage on, and so in the back of your head, you're like, he probably doesn't want to throw me those pitches. And, you know, that's how it always is when you face a guy that you've got a lot of at-bats off of, and that's kind of the chess match of baseball is what's he actually going to do, and you have to make the adjustment in the box. At the end of the day, he's got the ball. He commands everything that's going on, and so you have to make that adjustment to him.
Max, looking at this chart in the game, knowing what Gausman brings, and it's really about a split. I know he's got a heater. It's not 98. But early on, it looked like he maybe changed the model a little bit because there was a lot of outs. I won't say weak contact, but outs on the fastball. Was the game plan to think split, off speed, fight fastball, and did he change it?
Well, I'm not going to give too much away in case we face him again. But at the end of the day, you don't want him to be able to dominate with that split. When he's locating at the bottom of the zone, that's end game right there. If he's locating at the bottom of the zone, then you're going to get the chase below because you have to protect when you get to 2 strikes. Versus when he's missing up, it makes it a little bit easier. But if he locates that split at the bottom of the zone, it's game over.
When you think about the experience that you guys have had in the postseason, everybody else on the outside world hit the panic button a little bit after last night's loss. What happened? Tell me if any conversations happened in the clubhouse. I was talking. Everybody seemed loose and relaxed on the field. Under the surface of that, is there a little bit of sense of urgency, like we have to get this win tonight?
No. I mean, we lost last night, so what? We got another one today. You can't win the World Series in one game. You got to win 4 of these, and we've been here before. We've been in a lot of postseason games. We have, like you said, we have a ton of experience, and for us, it was, it sucked last night. There's no doubt about it. It got really loud. Ears were ringing, but hey, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's a new day. It's 0-0 score at the start of the game. It's not still 11-4 or whatever it was last night. You move on to the next day. You have a brand new slate. You have new pitcher. It's another game.
It's always fascinating that when you're facing a pitcher, you think, hey, he's got this weapon, he's got this as an arsenal. The thing that was affecting you was astigmatism. Once you got the vision corrected, Max, everything worked out. What a relief that was. What was that like for you to finally realize this is the issue? I can't see properly.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a longer story than probably what we got time for, but...
I think I have astigmatism, too. I think I just need to get mine checked out.
For me, it was just being able to wear sunglasses in day games. I used to love day games. I had really good numbers. I'd wear shades. Over the last couple of years, I was just seeing so much of the nose piece because my left eye was taken over that, I knew something was going wrong, and finally was able to get that checked out. And, that was the biggest thing for me, was being able to get back to wearing sunglasses on day games, because being blue-eyed, the sun affects me a little bit more. So when I'm in the batter's box, I'm squinting really hard and just giving my eyes a chance to relax. Your eyes are your most important thing. Ultimately, the result of that was having the clear glasses for night games, because I'm not just going to put on prescription for a day game and then not wear them at night. I've adjusted to it, and things have gone well.
Future's so bright, you got to wear shades, right? That's the story right now for Max Muncy.
if you say so.
Max Scherzer coming up next, by the way. Muncy 4 for 20, 1 home run against Max, and ultimately the most home runs in Dodgers postseason history. That's a credit to how good you are when the stage is at its biggest. Thanks so much, Max.
Yeah, I'm excited about that for about another year until show breaks. It's I'll hold on to it for when I can, but show's going to break that for sure.
I was going to say, Kike just set the record for most postseason games by a Dodger. Eventually that'll get surpassed by somebody, so enjoy it while you can. Thanks, Max.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, guys.
Max.